Welcome to Fanalyze This. I'm Joe 5 o'clock somewhere.
And I'm Anthony Perry.
Hold on, AP. Let me fanalyze this for you real quick.
Tell 24 to pass the ball.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
It's not what I'm talking about, man.
Welcome to Fanalyze This. It's Thursday, October 10th. I'm Joe 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey, this is Anthony Perry.
Joining us again in the studio, friend of the show, Eric V.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you? Happy Thursday.
Oh, man, it's going to be a good show today. We got a lot of MLB playoffs to talk about. We're going to talk about Week 6 in the NFL. A couple little stories. Alden Smith seems to be in trouble again, and Kobe's back from Germany. Let's get it going.
Sweet.
Well, we may as well start in the American League since there's still one game to go.
Yeah, we can ignore the National League for a minute. I
Yeah,
guess.
we'll get to that because obviously someone's going to gloat. But you want to talk about the Boston-Tampa series first, and then we'll get to tonight's game?
Sure, why not?
I mean, it wasn't much of a series other than the pinch hit home run by, is it Jose Lobaton? Is that his first name? The pinch hit home run in game, what was that,
Game
right?
3, the walk-off.
That was really all Tampa got in this series. Boston winning 3-1.
But Tampa was on a roll going through the playoffs, or just to get into the wild card position where they were, and then to beat two teams just to get in. Everybody kind of expected them to just fall away anyway. I did too. So
I didn't expect them to beat Boston. I mean, I wanted them to beat Boston, but, deep down inside, I knew Boston had this, and I'm not surprised that they're in the ALCS at all.
It's just amazing, though, that your tones really changed because we talked about that momentum thing last week, and you guys were just riding that momentum, and I said momentum was just the next game's pitcher, and you guys looked at me like, oh, no, they've won 10 games in a row, and they went L. And I stay, and I'll always say, pitching is the next day's momentum. Whoever that next great pitcher is will stop great hitting. And Boston has very good pitching, and we talked about that.
Are you going to write a book about that, sir?
I'm going to absolutely think about it.
No, you know what? You're absolutely right. We both talked about momentum going in, and Tampa Bay it looked like they had a little bit of it. Unfortunately, they just fell by the wayside because Boston just took care of business like they were supposed to. And I'm just surprised that we had more than 3 games in almost all these series. You know what I mean?
Oh, the baseball playoffs have been very exciting.
Yeah,
but the
No
thing that's
sweeps.
crazy is
No sweeps, yeah.
you had Boston against Tampa Bay, which, again, is interconference play. And you are in a divisional play. And you know how tough that is to beat a team over and over and over and continually do it. And I got to give Boston their props. They killed them at home. Then they went to Tampa Bay and won one, lost one. So I got to give Boston all kinds of props. They look really good.
It was pretty close to a sweep, though, talking about that Boston-Tampa one.
Yeah, I was amazed that they didn't sweep. As a matter of fact, unfortunately, you know what? I think Major League Baseball had it all planned out because they wanted to give Tampa Bay another 25,000 fans to show up for their playoff.
Another check. They wanted another check.
Well, I mean, only 25,000 fans that show up for a postseason game, dude. That just means that Tampa Bay is going to be moving soon.
Tampa Bay is the Atlanta in the South in the American League.
Yeah, but
they don't sell out when they win. It's crazy because Atlanta didn't sell out in their playoffs with the Dodgers.
Well, you know what? That just means that everybody's broke, especially in the South.
No, it's not. It's not that they're broke. It's just that that's what they choose to go see.
Speaking of places where people are broke, we got the Detroit Tigers
Wow, Ooh.
playing the Oakland A's
Man,
tonight.
That's brutal.
Hey, sorry, Oakland and Detroit. Not shots, stats. Just saying.
Oh,
Anyhow, we got Game 5.
yes,
We got, who is it? It's Sonny Gray going for Oakland tonight, right?
I believe so.
And the choke artist going for Detroit?
I wouldn't call him a choke artist.
No, I will, sir,
Verlander?
because we've had this
Wow.
conversation around this time last year, and it was you on this. Well, actually, it wasn't on the show yet.
Officially, but okay.
Well, not officially on the show, but it was you that told me that Justin Verlander is a choke artist in the big game. And if you look at the big games Verlander's pitched, that holds true.
Yeah,
This
but
being a big game 5, Verlander's going to do what Verlander does and lose the game. Oakland going on to the ALCS.
But see, if history repeats itself, Verlander last year against the A's in Game 5 threw a 9-inning shutout.
What did Verlander do in the World Series?
He lost.
Wow. But you know what?
He lost.
This is what I think. With Verlander, he throws nothing but fastballs, a couple sliders, maybe a curveball or two. But it's all fastballs. And the one thing about him is that he picks up speed later on in games, and the guys figure it out. Eventually, they figure it out, and then he's done. That's
Well,
it.
let's say he done, but over the last 3 years, they considered him the best pitcher in baseball. So
Maybe 1 year. That was 2000.
Oh, no.
2012.
Understand, he won his MVP.
In 2011.
Yeah,
yes.
he won his MVP, and before then,
And a Cy Young.
And a Cy Young. So no, he was considered the best pitcher in baseball. I know the whole world is enamored with Kershaw, but Verlander has been considered the best pitcher in
Well,
baseball.
when was the last time a pitcher won an MVP and a Cy Young in the same year?
That's a good question.
Give me a second. You guys keep talking, and I'll tell you who that was in a moment.
Go
I
ahead.
hope it's not a Cardinal.
Are you going to tell me Bob Gibson?
He did it,
I was just
but
saying, was
but,
that
I,
the
but I'm going to
last
say
one?
Eckersley. I thought won an MVP and a Cy Young
For Oakland?
for
Oakland?
Oakland,
Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe Boston.
and
but-
not Clemens. I think Clemens came close to winning one, and there was one other pitcher. and I got to keep
Clemens
thinking.
won
So
Rookie of the Year and Cy Young the same year, didn't he? In '86.
it may be.
Okay.
It may be. So
This
no,
is,
it's happened before, just not that often.
Not really before my time, but I was too young to notice. But didn't Fernando do the same thing?
That was '81.
Rookie of the Year and a Cy Young?
Rookie of the Year and a Cy Young.
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah.
He might have, but not the MVP.
But that would be obviously more current than Bob Gibson, but not more current than Dennis
We're talking
Eckersley.
decades
So it
here.
might be Eckersley.
Yeah, it should be.
I think
think
that would
it's
be the
Eckersley.
answer, actually.
For what, 1988 or '89? One of the years.
I
I'm not
think
sure
it would've
because
been
he's
89,
had a
yeah.
lot of great years. You got to think about Eckersley was a starting pitcher.
Yeah, he was.
He almost won. I think he won close to 200 games as a starting pitcher, and then went in as a reliever. Eckersley was a great pitcher.
Oh, man, that
I just
setup
give him his
closer
props.
of Dave Stewart and Dennis Eckersley was just money for Oakland back in the
Absolutely.
80s.
Not in the '88 World Series. Tell you that
This
right
is
now.
true. One bad pitch.
Not just
Ruined
one,
the
it
series.
was a bunch of them.
No, that one bad pitch ruined the series because after they lost, they never recovered.
So going back to tonight's Oakland-Detroit game, I know Eric and I are both going for Oakland. Who
picking
are you
Oakland.
picking tonight?
No, I want to see Oakland win.
Are we all picking
my,
Oakland then?
my son is a big-time Oakland fan. I just don't know if they can get over the hump this year. Oakland, to me, is the best team for the money
For
in the
money they
playoffs.
spend, yeah, no problem.
Best
no
team.
doubt about that.
You know, so I look at them and I say they're resilient. They don't have a hitter over 275, but yet they score runs and they pitch well. And this guy pitched really well against Verlander his last time out. He pitched 8 shutout innings against Detroit.
Sonny Gray did?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They were going to throw.
They went
Cologne.
together.
That's what I thought, too. I thought it was going to be Cologne, but Sonny Gray's getting the start.
No, because they said his last start was so great, they want him to repeat it.
Well, there it is. There.
Because remember,
Man.
Cologne gave up 3 runs in the first inning
Yeah.
against Detroit, didn't give up anything else for another 5 or 6
Yeah, but they
innings,
still lost 3-2.
and they still lost the game.
Yeah.
What I think, it's kind of a bold prediction, but I think you get to Verlander early, score a few runs, get to that suspect Detroit bullpen, and Oakland A's move on to Boston.
I hope so.
Also,
I'll
speaking
give
of
a
that,
score too. 7-6, Oakland.
7-6 Oakland, I like it. Speaking of the Boston series, that'll start Saturday from Fenway Park.
On Fox.
Oh, boy.
I better
Here
get
we
paid for that
go.
plug, dude.
Time to move on to the NL.
All right. Oh man.
Should have switched the songs around, too, and give him a song that he likes during his National League story. Oh, man. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have more Cardinal gear on today.
What happened to your? Oh shit! Where's your sock? Oh, I guess we're gonna have to listen to it. Should we just let him do the whole segment himself?
No, we
You know
can't
what?
allow AP to do a segment on his favorite team in baseball.
Let's talk about the Dodgers beating the Braves really
Oh,
quick,
yeah,
and then
let's
we'll give
talk
him
about that.
his moment.
Yeah, where it took only 4 games for the Dodgers to beat the Braves, who had basically the best record besides St. Louis.
Yeah.
I like how you said that basically the best record besides St. Louis.
See,
I
I'm
like
not
that.
surprised that the Dodgers won this series since Eric and myself picked them to win this series last week. You
That's
got that
right.
one wrong, obviously,
Yeah.
AP.
Out of all of the series, that's the one I got wrong, and you're absolutely right. I will admit I was wrong.
Hey, that Uribe home run must have pissed you off, because if that home run doesn't happen, the whole story is about the mistakes that Puig makes out in right field. Like, that was a big deal right there.
But to me, that wasn't even that wasn't the mistake they got. I am the believer that Kershaw shouldn't have pitched that game. See, I really believe they should have gone and pitched Ryu in that game and not Kershaw, because Kershaw.
No, it would have been Nolasco, I thought.
Nolasco, yeah. Nolasco should have pitched that game. And I figured the Dodgers pitched that game out of fear by starting him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, why not if you have 2 aces in Greinke and Kershaw?
The thing is, they were afraid of what might happen with Nolasco. But think about this: when Kershaw left the game, it was 2-2. The next inning, they bring in a reliever, and it's 3-2 Atlanta.
But
and I'm
he-
saying,
but
what
he-
did Kershaw do differently?
He got a no
Then-
decision, so it doesn't
right.
matter.
So I'm saying he was equal. But think about it: it was blowing up in their face until Uribe hit that home run, because Atlanta beat Greinke when
Yeah,
he
but
pitched.
Actually, not Kershaw, but Crawford Crawford went off for 2 home runs, and then I didn't even hear about the 3rd run until the top of the 8th. Okay, it was like they scored that run in the 7th, right?
That's what I'm saying. So Belisaro came in, he gave up a run. It's 3-2.
I was not paying attention. That's
absolutely, and everybody in LA is like, it worked out by pitching Kershaw, and I say it really didn't work out, because had they pitched Nolasco and the same thing happened,
but
and
that
the Dodgers
wasn't their mindset. Their mindset was, had they pitched Nolasco, he's going to give up more runs than Kershaw because it's Nolasco versus Kershaw. It goes back to that whole on paper thing that we hate.
That's right.
But if it's your season, if you want to end it there, you don't want to go back to Atlanta. You have Steve Garvey throwing out the first pitch, saying, "Welcome to the final game of the NLDS. You better win that game."
Yeah,
I guess, and I'm saying you're absolutely right. So you go with that, and I'm saying he's out there making that choice. But I'm saying when in the 8th inning, that choice didn't look good. Is all I'm saying.
But that was Belisario's fault,
but it
though.
looked good.
Speaking of one bad pitch,
not just that, but think about what I'm saying. Kershaw's not a 6-inning pitcher, and the fact that he pitched on 3 days rest, he only pitched 6 innings. And I'm saying, had he pitched with more rest, he'd have pitched 8 innings
but maybe
at least.
Maybe that was his own decision to tell his coach, "Hey, you know what? I'm kind of done. Can you let's do this for the team, not for me."
No, I'm agreeing with you, but I'm saying, had they not pitched him on 3 days rest, he'd have been a stronger pitcher. Is all I'm saying.
And so what? He starts game 1.
No, he'd either started game 5 if they lost, or he'd be starting game 1 in this NLCS.
I think they were just making sure they didn't go back to Atlanta.
That's what I
think.
think.
But I'm saying, you're right. They were trying to make sure, but him pitching didn't make sure of that. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying that look, he only gave up the 2 runs. All right. He only gave up the 2 runs. If who was it? Nolasco or
Belisaro.
Okay, Belisaro. If he'd have given up, if they'd have started him, I think Atlanta would have won that game. I'm telling you right now.
Now, see, he's messing you all up. It was Nolasco that was supposed to be the starter. It was Belisario that came in relief.
Well, okay, well, either way.
And I'm saying that's why I said they did it out of fear.
But Kershaw, they would have scored more than 2 runs.
I don't know about that.
Here's the thing I don't understand. How can you question Mattingly's decision if they won the game and the series? Obviously, it was the right call.
What I'm saying to you, they won in spite of the decision because they were losing when his decision was happening.
I get what you're saying. Kershaw pitching isn't what won them the game, but they did win the game and the series, so I don't see why to question it. If you have the luxury of a Zach Greinke right behind him, why not?
My thing is just that.
Now here, I'm going to segue this real quick because we talked about this off the air. The reason why your Cardinals won the series last night is, I thought personally, Pittsburgh not going with Liriano. You got to do the same thing. You got to use Liriano on short rest because your season's on the line.
And I'm going to say the same way it turned out for the Dodgers, it could have been for Pittsburgh. Because let's say he only pitches 5 innings against the Cardinals and then the relievers come in. The St. Louis Cardinals hit their relievers last night. They scored 2 runs off the starter who pitched on short rest, but they got 4 runs off their relievers. So would it have been the same outcome?
Well, we'll never know. It's just a what if. But I'm saying if your season's on the line, if you're Clint Hurdle, the guy that everyone's saying is going to win the National League Manager of the Year, you put your ace out there. Your season's on the line. You're there for the first time in 21 years. Pittsburgh fans want you to win, and you go with, no disrespect for the starter yesterday, but not your ace.
Yeah, but actually, during the end of the year, you might say Cole was their ace because he won his last 5 games with a 1-point-something ERA.
And to be fair, he did look really good.
Yeah.
He throws a 100-mile-an-hour pitch.
Yeah, he didn't pitch a bad game. He just kind of gave up a 2-run homer to, 2011's World Series hero.
But I think that what happened was once he gave up that home run, his confidence level just sank.
Well, Cole's a rookie, right? He's the one out of UCLA?
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he's still a rookie. So, that will take the wind out of your sails.
So I'm looking for the Pirates next year to be back where they were against the Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in second place. In second place. I truly agree with you.
This Pirates team will be back in the playoffs for years to come, but now...
It all depends on if they sign Bird and somebody, if Marno is there for more than just this year. Because think about it, they helped them get over the hump.
That's true.
And I like Pittsburgh's
I think they keep them both around.
And if they do, I think it's great for baseball, and I think it's great for the Central because the Central had 3 90-win teams. I mean, come on. Wow. The best competition in baseball.
This year. That's it.
That's all we're talking about is this year.
Okay.
We want it, like I tell J5 all the time, when we go historical, I'm going to say Cardinals in the National League. You can't give me another team that's better.
Let's talk about your Cardinals right now because they host the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes,
the hot Los Angeles Dodgers tomorrow. Time still to be determined, so we don't know what time that game's going to start yet.
It's probably an 8 o'clock game Eastern time.
I would imagine so. But I don't know, Eric. What do you think? Are the Dodgers still home field?
They win one in St. Louis. Definitely, they win one.
I'm looking to Game 2 in St. Louis.
I'm not.
You got the kid Walker.
They're not going to sweep in L.A., but they better damn sure not make sure they don't go back.
Wait, go back to the St. Louis games, though. We got to talk about Game 2. You got Waka versus Kershaw, and that, to me, is where the Dodgers still home field. I mean, that final score is going to be 1-0 probably, but I think the Dodgers take home field in Game 2 in that matchup right there.
Well, not many people have saw Waka pitch.
It was only his 10th start ever.
Right, so that a lot of hitters didn't get an opportunity to see what kind of pitcher he is.
What kind is he?
He was
Solid.
lights out
He's
in that
solid.
game.
What was he?
That's for
What
sure.
was he? What was he? His last game in the regular season, 8 2/3 a shutout, no hit baseball.
Wow.
And he gave up 1 hit.
Wow.
And then he pitches first game he does in the playoffs. He goes 7+ innings, no hit baseball.
7 1/3, sir. Okay.
But I'm saying no hit
But that
baseball
one
until he
hit
gave up
was
the
a
hit.
home run.
Yeah, so he's given up 1 run his last 16 innings.
Oh, well, it happens.
So what are we saying?
We're saying that
Kershaw's a better pitcher?
Waka.
Whoa, you're not implying that Waka is anywhere on Kershaw's level, are you? I mean,
I'm saying in his last 2 games he's pitched better than Kershaw.
Okay, in his last 2 games,
That's
but
all
the
I'm
kid's
saying.
had 10 starts ever. Are you going to, because he's a Cardinal, talk about how good he is already this short into his career? Because I remember you crapping on Yasiel Puig when he came up because he hasn't been around long enough. That's the same thing with your boy Michael Wacha.
Hold on, I'm not crapping on Yasiel Puig. I told you he's an exciting player, but I also said he strikes out a ton too. And sometimes he looks embarrassing in
We're
right
not talking
field.
about
and he
strikeout
has a
numbers.
great
We're
arm.
talking about how he barely had came up, made all this hype for the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
It was around the All-Star game where the conversation should Puig get voted on for the fan vote.
I remember
And
that
you said it was,
conversation.
do you remember that?
I
And it
was
was
on
too
your show,
soon.
yeah.
He hasn't been around long enough.
what
But
I
Michael
said was-
Wacha has only had 10 MLB starts, and all of a sudden he's in the conversation with Clayton Kershaw?
No, what I said was about Puig was that his teammate Adrian Gonzalez deserved the All-Star nod, is what I said.
not Freddie
because
Freeman.
and not Freeman. I said Adrian had a better year up to that point. Give it to him, the veteran who's earned it. That's what I talked about. I didn't say Puig wasn't a good player. Puig is still in the conversation, but you're talking about Waka?
You're avoiding what I'm saying. What you said was it was too
You're
soon.
avoiding.
It was too soon. You're giving Waka all this credit after 10 MLB starts just because the last
And
2 have been
one
phenomenal.
postseason start.
Yeah,
No.
one postseason start ever, and you're putting him in the same breath as Clayton
And
Kershaw?
not only that,
no way.
the Pirates lineup is not as potent as the Dodgers lineup.
Okay, and I tell people all the time, the Dodgers have a pretty
Excellent
good
point.
lineup. They really have they hit 264. Cardinals hit better than that. The Pittsburgh Pirates hit better than the Dodgers. And all I'm saying to you is when you play a team 24 times, they know you.
Look, sir, I'm going to show you this.
And
Still
I'm saying the
finished 12 and
Dodgers
12.
don't know Waka at all.
This is what it is.
Yes, sir.
On paper, Cardinals look good, but the Dodgers are going to win this series in 6.
Let me say this to you. Both of you think Kershaw's going to win because he's going against Waka. I'm saying to you, Waka is 1-3 against. Excuse me, Kershaw's 1-3 against the Dodgers and 0-1 or 0-2 this year against the Cardinals. So all I'm saying to you is Kershaw doesn't have a history of beating the Cardinals, so that you automatically believe he's going to win the game. I'm saying rethink that thought. That's all I'm
It's
saying.
got to start somewhere.
That doesn't mean it will.
Game 2, yo.
I'm with Eric V on this one. Dodgers in 6. Take a
I
quick
know.
break and we'll talk some football.
Can I help you? Can I help you? What do you do? I do it all. Have a seat. I will because that's something I can do. Do something. Do something. I am. I did. What did you do? Done. What did you do? I helped you. Are you drunk? Not drunk enough.
Is it week 6 already?
Wow, it's hard to believe. It's
Yeah.
hard to believe it's week 6.
Week 6 in the NFL already. It's flying by.
It is.
You know what's worth pointing out? This is that rad time of year where it's that 2-3 weeks where we get the NFL is well underway, playoff baseball, NBA preseason, and the first week of hockey. This is the best 3 weeks of the year.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, it is, actually. Yeah.
You know, college football's still there too. It'd be better if I wasn't a Trojans fan, but that's whatever. Let's talk some NFL though right now.
Wait, what about the Bruins? You can't even talk about the Bruins?
No, I don't talk about Bruins football.
Oh,
I don't
'cause
do
they're
that.
4-0? My
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
You got to give them their props, so they do look good.
They do look very good.
Yeah.
I like that linebacker too. He's a top 10 pick.
I'm not a Euclid fan, but my girl went there, so.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's go through the Sunday game first, the Sunday games, then Monday night, and then we'll leave it off with tonight's game since
Okay,
it's in a
sounds
couple
good.
hours. Okay, I want to go in order here, but All right.
Hand me that real quick.
It just so happens that the first game of the week is my Oakland Raiders at Eric V's 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs.
City. That's what I'm talking about.
Listen, player, as you like to say.
Player. I like that.
The fact that it's at Arrowhead, the Chiefs are winning this game. But I do think Terrell Pryor is going nuts as far as rushing yards in this game because he's that mobile quarterback. These guys like Vic and Cam Newton and even Kaepernick last year, Russell Wilson. Terrell Pryor is that guy, but 6'4".
Sorry,
he's going to run all over your Chiefs defense, expose them.
He made a bet with me, dude. That Pryor's going to get 200 yards rushing.
You heard me.
I think that might be a couple yards too many, but they're going to need that type of ground.
They're going to need that type of ground
control
just to stay in the game. I understand.
Yeah, because McFadden is out, right?
No, McFadden came back to practice yesterday. He was limited, but it appears that him and Jennings will both be back. Him and Jennings both have a pulled hamstring. Both running backs.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll see about that one. But obviously, we're all picking Kansas City in this one, right? They go 6-0. The Chiefs are going to be 6-0.
Wow.
Wow,
first
is right.
time since 2003 when they went 9-0 and then fell flat in the first round of the playoffs. So
that's history.
Man, this paper is setting us up for these segues here. Let's talk about Andy Reid's old team playing at Tampa this week.
Tampa gets its first win.
Tampa hasn't won yet?
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
They're 0-4. They had a bye a couple weeks ago. And, they get their first win against Philly this week.
Wow, I didn't realize that they hadn't won yet, but I'm actually picking them as well because it doesn't look like Vic's going to play. I think Foles is probably the best backup in the NFL, but that's not enough. It's in Tampa. They're hurting for a win.
Tampa will not win this game.
They got a new quarterback. So.
Okay, put me on the record again. Tampa will not win this game.
All right, going with the road team.
I'd like to see Philly lose because that helps my Cardinals, but go ahead.
Speaking of going with road teams, Green Bay at Baltimore. I got to go with the Packers here, no Clay Matthews or not. However, you got to figure Ray Rice is going to have a big game because Clay Matthews is the guy you're going to put on one-on-one coverage with a guy like Ray Rice who does so much damage catching the ball. So this could go either way, but I think Aaron Rodgers is just that much better than Joe Flacco, and Green Bay wins on the road.
He might be, but think about B. Moore's defense. We all discounted it because they lost all these veterans. Their defense is playing lights out right now because their offense is not delivering much at all. I think they're winning again by their defense. So I don't know about that automatic thing.
So you're just saying that it's the system.
I'm saying it's their defense.
Yeah. So
they
you're
brought
picking
in some
Baltimore?
good players. I'm picking Baltimore.
What about you?
You know what? I got a quarter, so I could just flip it, find out.
Green
Green
Bay
Bay top
and Baltimore's a coin toss?
tails.
Wow.
So I would have to say I'm going to go with Green Bay on this one.
All right, Detroit at Cleveland. Megatron's still questionable. I'm still going with Detroit.
Go with Cleveland.
Yeah, all right.
Cleveland's hot right now. They won 3 in a row, and you can't really.
They're playing good
They're
deep.
playing good defense, and the only suspected thing.
Are they playing at Cleveland?
Yeah, it's at Cleveland.
Cleveland wins. Yeah.
Okay, Carolina at Minnesota. This could go either way, really.
Minnesota.
I think it's at home. It's in Minnesota. I think Peterson has a big game.
I hope he
Better.
does.
He's on my fantasy team.
I hope he does.
St. Louis at Houston. I don't think the Rams have a chance in this one. Texans beat them big.
Well, that's right. You're not a Rams fan.
I'm not a Rams fan at all, but I
Yeah.
believe the Rams. I would like to see the Rams lose because I'm a Cardinal fan. But I think the Rams will beat Houston because Houston, to me, is a pretender.
That's fine. I just had to point out that not every team in St. Louis, Missouri, is playing well.
Yeah.
Point out something. I mean, the Blues are 3-0, Cardinals NLCS.
Yeah. Good for them.
Okay, Pittsburgh. Oh, Pittsburgh. What's wrong with you this week versus the Jets at the Meadowlands? I got the Jets.
Pittsburgh.
Jets.
I got the Jets. The way they beat Atlanta, they're looking not too. I don't know.
Pittsburgh's
don't look
coming
that
off
bad.
a bye, so
Pittsburgh looks bad.
yeah, they do.
They
Actually,
look
with that
Jacksonville
West
and
Coast
Giants
offense.
bad. Pittsburgh
with that
looks
West
real
Coast
bad. The
offense,
only team in the
you can't
NFL
really
to
help.
not record an interception.
But Todd Haley's offense is no good. If Chiefs, he proved it with the Chiefs. It doesn't matter where he is.
He's
I'm
fair.
still picking Pittsburgh.
Here's a game I think will be a pretty good one. Cincinnati at Buffalo. Don't forget the Bengals beat the Patriots last week.
Cincinnati.
Is Manuel healthy?
He's not playing.
He's not playing. I got to go with Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
All right, Tennessee at Seattle. I don't think Tennessee could go into Seattle and beat them. There's no
I
way.
picked Tennessee.
At Seattle?
Yep.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah. Tennessee's what? 3-2 right now.
They got a new quarterback themselves,
Yeah.
and no one wins in Seattle. That's not called the Seahawks. Jacksonville at Denver. Fun fact here. Largest point spread in Las Vegas history for an NFL regular season game. The Denver Broncos are favored by 27.5 points.
Denver
The game's
does not cover
obviously
the
at
spread.
Denver. I don't think they're going to cover the spread, but Denver obviously wins this one.
I say
They're
yeah.
playing in Denver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They cover the spread.
Ooh,
They
28
cover
point
the
spread?
They cover the spread.
I don't know.
Their defense has to make up for what happened last week against
Also,
Dallas.
don't
So I
forget,
believe-
this is
Von Miller coming back?
Von Miller's his last game out. They get Von Miller back next week.
Yeah, they gotta turn it up a notch.
Yeah, you can't be giving up 48 points, even if it is to Dallas. Okay, Arizona, your Cardinals at San Francisco.
I'm a Redbird fan.
So you're just going to pick them no matter what, even
That's
if you
it.
don't honestly feel in your heart they're going to lose the game?
No. Well, I'm saying like this. 49ers right now, their offense is not that great, and this is what I'm looking
But they
at.
still know how to win.
They know how to win, but they're not. How are they winning?
They beat
the,
Houston?
The Cardinal defense right now, I think, is up a notch. Peterson is killing it, and they got their middle linebacker Washington back last week, who had 2 sacks and an interception to go along with Peterson's interceptions. I like the Cardinals in this game.
Well, it's a
I
divisional game.
also like the Cardinals in this
I'll
game.
take the Niners.
You can't throw on them. No one in San Francisco that isn't Anquan Bolden is catching the ball. And the Niners' running game hasn't looked that impressive to me
What
this
about Vernon
season.
Davis?
I'm also going with Arizona because you can't throw on that secondary. Arizona wins on the road in
But
Frisco.
they have no Alden Smith anymore.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. Don't you worry. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a game. New Orleans at New England.
New
I got to go
Orleans.
with Breeze.
I'm
You
going
have
with
to.
Yeah, got to go with Breeze. Road game or not.
Until
and
they
their
lose.
defense is solid, too.
Their
this
defense
year.
is actually looking good.
Yeah, with Rob
Rob
Ryan.
Ryan. Oh, Washington at Dallas. Oh, I feel bad for both of these teams this season.
I picked the Redskins.
I'm going to just go with the home team based on home team. I got Dallas.
I got the Skins.
You got the Skins?
Yeah.
Okay, Monday night game, Indianapolis at San Diego. The way that San Diego looked against my Raiders on Sunday night, there's no way the Colts lose this game.
I'm
In
gonna
San
have to go
Diego?
with Luck.
In San Diego.
I think it's going to be a great game, and I bet this is where San Diego comes out and plays their best game.
That's the Monday
So
night
are you
game?
picking them? No. Yes, that is Monday night. You're picking the Chargers?
Yep.
I've got Indy. on
And I
this
think
one.
I think Indiana is the next up and comer, but I think San Diego has to prove something.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
What? They've proven that they don't need Phillip Rivers anymore, that's for sure.
Oh, I don't know that I'd go that far. They need a running back. So as far as tonight's game, and I kind of touched on them earlier, looking Jacksonville bad. The 0-5 New York Giants at Chicago. There's no way the Giants get it turned around at Soldier Field tonight, right?
Wow.
Let's hope that they do.
Mm.
Let's hope
I
that
would
they
hope
do.
the Giants would win this game. I mean, I'll just go ahead and say I'll pick them. But
Because
they're only winning
what
by a
does
field
Chicago,
goal.
What
at
does
that.
Chicago have going right now?
They got Crybaby Cutler.
But I guess what I'm saying, that their defense hasn't been all that great.
No, it hasn't.
And the Giants, I think, have to get it turned around sooner or later. They have a very good coach and actually a decent team who just hasn't come together.
You think they reel off 11 in a row?
No, but I think they're going to win tonight.
Oh,
Because they don't want to get fired.
I picked the Giants.
They don't
too,
want to
so,
get fired.
Yeah.
No, I don't see the Giants winning. I got the Bears. I got them covering the spread, too. 7 points, by the way.
Cutler throws 2 picks at the wrong time. He'll look like Houston's.
We kind of took a long time on this one.
Yeah, it's all right, though. But we got a couple little things we want to talk about. You know what? I have it down here, but let's go with this guy first because I don't want to miss that story right there.
I'm just saying.
So we brought up Alden Smith in the last segment, and
bad.
he's in trouble again, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in trouble, apparently. You got the story on this one.
Okay, so Alden Smith, as we know, has already been put in rehab for alcohol and weed by the Niners, which is a little ridiculous, I thought, initially. But now this story comes out that we hadn't heard about, really, that Alden Smith is facing felony gun charges from a party in June last year at his house where he apparently got stabbed and then fired off a bunch of shots, and a couple other people were hurt as well. You don't like hearing stories like this for such a good young player, too. Like, man, Alden Smith, what happened?
Yeah, he's in the wrong. He said he's at home, but he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, or invited the wrong people over. But if he gets stabbed at a party and he pulls a gun out and shoots a warning shot, I don't know if they're going to call that self-defense and he's going to get off on that, because if somebody stabs you, I guess you can bring a gun to a knife fight.
Yeah.
You know, so
What is that? One
so-
of you ends up in the hospital, the other
yeah,
one ends up in the
it's the
morgue?
untouchables. It's the way it goes. So, you know, how are we going to look at that? He's at his home, somebody stabs him, and he shoots a gun in the air.
What did they stab him with? A nail file?
I don't know, but he got stabbed.
That sucks.
So, yeah, we'll have
Did
to
he
keep an
just
eye on
do
that story and see what's going on with Alden Smith.
Good luck, Alden.
So, the Black Mamba's back from Germany. Had his little Lance Armstrong procedure done. It just seems a little weird to me. I'm okay with it because he's my favorite player and it gets him back on the court a lot quicker, but
Did you hear that?
what?
He's
What?
okay with it because it's his favorite player.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he's saying that he's 3 weeks out.
Kobe's 3 weeks out?
That's what he said.
Well, from being in shape. From being in shape. 3
Right,
weeks
well,
of running and getting in shape.
As soon as he gets started, which it's sounding like that's going to be any day now. So I see Kobe coming back, mid-October like he predicted.
Yeah, not bad.
Mid-November.
No.
We're already in
or
October.
mid-November, whatever. What's the date today?
Today's the 10th. So you're saying, how about Halloween?
I gotta love
when
him.
I don't write the date down on my paper.
You gotta love him. He'll come back
Yeah,
mid-October.
he will. That's like next week, isn't it?
But when the season starts, what, the 27th, 28th, somewhere around there of the month?
29th for the Lakers.
Oh, that's right, against the Clippers,
against
right?
the
It's their
Clippers.
first
Fine.
game.
He
So
should
he
be
might just miss a week and a half of the season,
Yeah,
which
'cause
will be interesting.
I think it's going to be like last year where we thought Dwight might be ready for the season, and then he only ended up missing, a week and a half himself. So I think Kobe will be back. We'll be fine. There's no way we're a 12th ranked team out of 15 in the West.
How do you guys look right now?
2-1.
2-1.
Well,
but
I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm just saying, how does the team look? Because I've only seen a part
it's
of a
hard
preseason
to say because
game.
a lot of these new pieces that is supposed to help us, we haven't seen them yet. Wes Johnson hurt his foot in limited minutes in the second game. Jordan Farmer hasn't played yet. Chris Kaman hasn't played yet. Did Kaman play last night actually? Or
Did he
Tuesday night?
play?
I didn't watch
I
the Tuesday
think
night
he
game, but
played
a
that
lot of the
night.
new guys haven't played yet.
Right.
Nick Young still has the Nick Young. I want to shoot every time I touch the ball, but
How's that
it's
going to
coming
play?
around?
He's
How's
got
that
the
going to play
Kobe
when?
virus.
I was going to say, how's that going to play when Kobe comes in?
Well, Nick Young's riding the bench. That's why.
I know, but they brought him in to score, so I don't know if he's going to be the 6th or 7th player. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all works out.
Well, I'm sure you guys are both crushed about this. We ran out of time and don't have time to talk about hockey. But real quick, the local teams: Ducks are 2-1, Kings are 2-2, AP's Blues are 3-0, and my Penguins are also 3-0.
Out of control.
Anything you guys want to add before we run out of time here?
Did you see that young guy, that 18-year-old that shot between his legs? He moved the puck between his legs and then shot it behind his back in for a goal.
Yeah, they said
San
that was
Jose
probably
guy.
the
Oh
shot of the
man,
year.
Oh, that young
amazing.
kid.
18-year-old.
We'll have to post that video up on the Facebook
Yeah,
page. Check
amazing.
it out at facebook.com. Fanalize this.
Thank you guys for having me.
Check out any past shows you missed on Spreaker.com. Fanalize this. I'm Joe 5 o'clock somewhere.
Hey, this is AP.
Want to thank Eric V for coming in again.
It's my pleasure. Anytime you guys need me, I'll be here. I know you guys like to make fun
And
of me.
thanks for
It's
my
all right.
sandwich.
Hey, anytime, brother. You
Yeah.
know that.
Peace.
Next time you bring it $5. I don't care what you say.